guys. I'm here to answer questions. I know the stream is super laggy, um, but we'll do our best. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. Stock and I are both here to answer questions. With that being said, I'm going to switch over to where Stock's also here. So here we go.
Craig, you just popped up on my screen.
Hey, Stock, you're on the stream.
Awesome. How's everyone doing?
All right. Hey, how's it going? So we'll just talk back and forth for a little bit. If anybody has any questions, drop them in the chat. We'll do our best to answer anything that you might have concerns with, or any questions about e-learning assignments, anything like that. Stock actually does have some news about our upcoming schedule that Dr. Smith has just shared with everybody. So Stock, if you could go ahead and drop that on us, that'd be great.
Sure can. You surprised me with that. Let me open the email.
Right. We got all the time in the world.
Okay. Covington has extended its e-learning days. Of course, we've got this week and next week. Those were already planned. Everyone knows about those. What's been added is through the end of April, since the governor closed schools until May 1st. So April 14th, 15th, and 16th, April 21st, 22nd, 23rd, April 28th, 29th, and 30th. Those are now e-learning days. You'll notice it's all Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for those 3 weeks. I would encourage everyone, do what you can. Don't stress. Just take a deep breath. We're all in this together. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, so a lot of this goes back to Governor Holcomb extending the school closing period to May 1st. So schools aren't even allowed to go back into session until the 1st, which would actually be that Monday. I think it's the 4th. But our schedule for these 2 weeks doesn't change. So we're still going 4 days this week, 4 days next week. And a couple important things I wanted to mention really quick before we get into anything. It's really important you do your attendance. So e-learning attendance is super important. All your teachers should have in Canvas posted your e-learning attendance, and it should say e-learning attendance whatever day it is. All you have to do is put here and then submit it. That's as simple as it is. I woke up this morning, I already had several kids that already turned theirs in, which is awesome. Good job, guys. But on top
I woke
of
up
the
this
attendance,
morning and
yeah, go ahead, Stock.
I woke up this morning and I had a problem with mine, so kids emailed me and we got it fixed. I forgot to put the little text box so kids could answer here.
And that's one of the things. Hey, we're all in this together. So
yeah, I'm going to play it off that I did that intentionally, so they had to interact with me.
That's it. Yeah, that's.
Can I do that?
Yeah, wink, wink, nudge.
Okay.
But yeah, we're all in this together. Nobody's perfect. We intended to have a nice, free-flowing stream today. Internet's not cooperating. Everybody's at home watching Netflix. Okay, so that's just where we are. Hopefully, you get something out of this. We'll go for a while, just talk back and forth. If nobody has any questions or anything like that, we'll probably end it in like 15 minutes. If we get people that have questions or need help or want to go through Canvas or want to learn how to log into a certain resource or something like that, then we'll go longer. We're here to help. That's what we're here for today. Okay. Anything you want to add, Stock?
No. I'm bored.
Bored already. I saw that you made masks.
I did. I made them initially for the VA over in Danville and for the county health department, but neither of those organizations are accepting homemade masks at this point. So this is how the world works. I just made those because I wanted to help. When the same day, about 20, 30 minutes after I found out that those two organizations weren't accepting homemade stuff, Hannah Haig got in contact with me via Facebook saying, could I make masks for Kennedy Fye, who's working at Riley's Children's Hospital? And I said, they're already done. So I gave them to her, and she sent them on to Kennedy at Riley.
That's perfect. Yeah, and if you're
Yeah.
wanting to help, then you can give those to regular citizens. They don't have to go to nursing staff or doctors or something like that. I've seen more masks out in public the last couple of days than I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. What are you doing out in public, Mr. Sowers?
I had to go get insulin in Danville because Illinois, you can buy insulin over the counter. In Indiana, you can't do that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, which is kind of crazy. And it is a crazy time. Like there are lines on the floor at stores where you have to stand behind a certain line. I've never seen that before.
Meijer has X's on the floor where you have to stand.
And I've been to Casey's a couple times. And if you go up to the terminal to pay, they have to back up a certain distance and then wait for you to pay, and then they can come back closer to the register, which I understand the precaution and everything. It just seems kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is a weird time. The entire toilet paper roll section at Walmart was empty.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's kind of crazy.
Somebody did the math on that. If you bought, so many rolls and you had a family of this size, to get through the rolls, you would have to, use them. You'd have to have a bowel movement something like 120 times a day.
And you don't, is what you're saying.
And you don't.
Yeah. Yeah. No normal human should.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's ridiculous and crazy. And the things that I noticed that were gone, that we were actually trying to shop for, ramen noodles were instantly gone. And Kraft macaroni and cheese, which I thought was
now see, Meijer had a lot of macaroni and cheese. I was able to get some there, but they were out of ramen noodles too.
Yeah. Is that survival food? Twinkies and ramen? Will they survive the
and mac and cheese?
It's unreal.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
You had mentioned a really good idea a couple days ago via text about what are we going to do with the yearbook.
Oh, yeah.
And you had mentioned maybe kids take a picture of their e-learning environment. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And that's actually one of the suggestions that our Walsworth advisor had given us, is have students submit what they're actually doing and how they're getting work done in class. Another thing was take pictures of the empty store shelves and throw those on a couple pages, because we have spreads, like crazy amount of spreads that are going to be blank.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all spring sports, senior play, as far as I know, is canceled.
Prom
is canceled, and that's a 2-page spread, if not more.
Yeah. Graduation, we still don't know about.
Yeah, and that's still up in the air. And with the restrictions we've got now, we wouldn't even be able to go back to May 1st. And I've heard from several people that some schools are already closing for the whole year. I know even colleges are taking precautions like this, which I thought was weird, because when I was in college, it could have been the end of the world and you would have still had class. So I don't know.
My first semester at Ball State, everything was fine until finals week. And suddenly it's minus 10 degrees with like a minus 20 wind chill. We still went out and got finals.
Yeah. Yeah. And
greatest thing I saw there was a blind guy who had a guide dog. He pulled his whole cap down over his face.
Well, you don't need it, right? As long as you can breathe.
Exactly.
My goodness. So, what other projects have you been doing at home to try to keep your mind off of things?
Well, I've been doing dishes.
Ooh,
I've been doing laundry. I haven't gotten very far with either of them.
You're
I've been
better
taking a
than I
lot of
am.
naps.
There you
Been
go.
taking a lot of naps. The cats
Perfect.
really enjoy having me home.
I bet. Yeah, it's nice. Nice being able to
And
hang out with the dogs.
yeah, YouTube and podcasts. That's how
Cool.
I've been spending my time, basically.
So, quick shout out, you and Mr. Holt, Joey, are starting
Yes,
a
yes.
podcast. So, can you tell us a little bit about that?
We have started a podcast. The first episode, there's already a trailer up. Check your favorite, podcast app. It's called The History Buffet. The History Buffet.
The History Buffet. And what is
And
this about?
the History Buffet, we have each chosen some little trivia fact about history, and neither of us knows what the other one's going to talk about, and we just share and comment. Excuse me. And our first episode, he talks about a man named something, William something. This guy was crazy, absolutely crazy. He thought he could conquer Mexico with like 40 people.
Really?
So, yeah, quite a story there.
My Chihuahua must have heard you say Mexico. He's going crazy up there.
Yep.
So
And then my story
is this going
was
to be episodic? Is this going to be a weekly thing or bi-weekly or whenever you guys can get together?
in the info, he put weekly without consulting me, by the way. But I'm fine with that though. For right now, we really don't have a lot of other stuff to do. So, yeah, I talked about a train wreck in France, a very famous train wreck in France. And we're hoping to do it weekly, maybe bi-weekly. We don't know. Yeah, we're just getting the feel of it. That's how you do these things, right?
Absolutely.
You jump in, you see how it works, and then you go from there.
So we're gonna have to have everybody subscribe, right?
Everyone subscribe to the History Buffet.
That's right.
He's actually the one doing all the work. I drew a cartoon for it, but he's the one who made the website. He's edited the podcast. He's done everything.
And he's got a new baby.
And he's got a new baby.
He's a man of many talents.
Cute little thing.
Yeah, cute little thing.
Oh yeah.
Cal.
Callum is his name. They're calling him Cal. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a baby person. I'm a high school teacher, but it's a cute kid.
All babies look the same to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, babies and old people.
Big heads.
They all look the same. Holy mackerel. Yeah, so we've done one major project here at the house. We put in new recessed lighting in the living room. So you know how dungeon-esque my living room was before? Very, very, very dark, hard to see anything. Now it's like the surface of the sun. So we have 4 BR30 Philips Hue light bulbs, so they're voice controlled.
Oh wow!
And my dad was able to wire them up in the attic, and we got them installed last week. So pretty excited about that.
I didn't know you had an attic.
What's that?
Good. I didn't know you had an attic.
It's not much of one. I can't get into it. I can't physically fit into my attic. So Ked's a little, as scary as this is, or sad as this is, he's a little more nimble than I am. So he's able to get up in the attic through a ladder and into my little crawl space and wire everything up there. So we're very appreciative of him. But
you like all that stuff?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, he did try falling through the ceiling into my garage. He got a leg.
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I feel like the Verizon guy. Oh, man. Let's see. Let me see if Stock's calling back. Hey, you're back.
Am I back?
You're back with me. Yes, you're back on the stream.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just reconnecting for some reason.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Good.
yeah.
I'm
I
texting
just
Joey
got your
right now.
I just
Tell
got
him.
your text actually. We did die
Okay.
temporarily, but we're back now. Oh goodness. But yeah, we're really into the Google ecosystem here. We have a lot of smart devices.
Yeah.
We got a camera on the front door. We got a smart lock. We got a bunch of speakers throughout the house, and most of our lighting is Google. So we're pretty invested
Are
into
you
Google.
okay? Are you ever afraid of Google getting hacked
Um,
or all
I've
the stuff that it
I've
knows
actually
about
seen
you
that
being used?
quite a bit lately, to where somebody will override somebody's camera. I've seen that with Ring a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
no, I mean I'm not trying to hide anything. If they want to look at me flexing in the mirror, they can look at me flexing in the mirror. I mean I'll do it on stream, you know. But no, I don't really care if they're listening to me or if they can see me or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I just say I love Russia, I love China, I love North Korea, and we're good as long as they know.
And that's all you need.
That's all you need. That's all you need. Oh goodness.
Gosh.
Yeah. So
Say, did you hear talking about Corona and spreading fear and everything? Did you hear the Surgeon General of the U.S.? He called Indianapolis one of the hot spots of the coronavirus in the United States.
oh nice. Did he give a reason? Or did he just say, hey, you guys are awful? I
I'm
did see
betting
a
on number
scary
two.
post. I saw a scary post on social media the other day that was talking about refrigerated semi trucks being backed up to the hospitals
Yeah.
in Indianapolis to act as temporary morgues because
Oh my
the rooms were
gosh.
full. Yeah, and I don't know how true that is. It's social media, so I'm assuming it's 100% true. But that's kind of scary. Yeah.
It is.
I think around here, what they say, Fountain Warren has 3 cases, something like
Three
that.
cases, no deaths so far.
Yeah.
I'm originally from Kokomo in Howard County. They've had, I think, 7 or 8 cases, and there's been one death.
Oh my.
And that one death was a guy that, yeah, it was a guy that my dad worked with at Chrysler.
So was he older or compromised?
Older,
Okay.
I'm guessing. And from that generation, there were a lot of smokers. So
Okay.
I would imagine that he had lung issues.
He's probably compromised anyway. And that seems to
Yeah.
be the trend. Uh, People that are compromised or older people are more at risk, or heavily more at risk than younger people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the numbers kind of like skyrocket in the United States. Um, I think everybody else is kind of getting it under hand, though. It looked like, or at least where it
Yeah.
started. So,
Well, in England, the head of their National Health Service, she gave a statement and she said, this could feasibly, in England, she's just talking about, it could feasibly last for another 6 months
really,
before everything starts getting back to normal. Yeah.
that's horrible news. You know what that means? No baseball.
I know.
I'm kind of mad the way it
Ah,
is. Actually, I'm going to show
yeah.
something to camera real quick. I've been collecting
Okay.
cards again, and I don't know if the
Awesome.
camera will even focus on this, but I've been pulling these home run derby cards, and the premise behind them is that when you pull one of these cards, there's a code on the back. You go to tops.com/promotions, and you enter the code, and then the player on the card, you select what day they're supposed to hit a home run in a game. And if they hit a home run on that game, then you're entered into a drawing and you could win a trip to the home run derby this next year, which is a really cool promotion.
Yeah, I like
Unfortunately,
that.
yeah, unfortunately, I have already pulled like 20 of these and I put June 5th as the day for a lot of these players that hit a home run. So I think I might
which
be
is
really
your
wrong.
birthday.
Yeah, that's my birthday. Yeah. So I've switched it to Ryan's birthday, which is July 23rd. And fingers crossed, we'll actually have a season by then. But who even knows?
Well, I'm October 27th. If they make it to the World Series, you could get one there.
Well, the talk right now is extending the season and then having a neutral site World Series. So like a
How about,
California, Texas stadium or an indoor stadium, which is
okay, the image of you holding up a baseball card just showed up on stream.
oh cool. Hey, Joey Holt is in the chat. No baseball would
Good.
be terrible. Amen, Mr. Holt. Amen. Uh, Mr. Holt, while you're here, are you a Red Sox fan by chance? Do you know if Joey's a Red Sox fan,
I,
Stock?
he's a big Red Sox fan. He used to work at Fenway Park. Did you know that?
I remember something about that. So he's probably pretty
Yeah, for one
upset.
summer,
Yeah, go ahead.
I, one summer he gave tours of Fenway. That was his after college job.
That's a great job.
Yeah,
That is
it'd be
fantastic.
better at Wrigley.
I don't know about that. You'll have falling cement on your head. I actually watched a documentary on, well, it's a YouTube documentary on Kerry Wood's 20 strikeout game last night. Fascinating. It's
Yeah.
like 45 minutes on YouTube. If you get a chance, it's awesome. And I'm not a Cubs fan. We all know this.
Yeah.
But it's
Baseball's
so well done. Yeah. And it's a historic day in baseball. It really is. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So Mr. Holt's probably really upset about the Mookie Betts trade. Mookie Betts going to the already loaded Dodgers for a washing machine, basically. So that's
Hey,
kind of upsetting for Red Sox fans, I would assume.
is it possible to get him live in here?
Yeah. If he Skype calls in, I should be able to add him as another source. So, Mr.
Can you
Holt,
do that, Joey?
oh, he says he's not a fan of losing bets. Yeah, I would imagine he's the best player on the team. And that outfield is stacked now at Los Angeles. Holy moly. We're big fans of watching the Dodgers play too. As you know, Stock, I'm a big Cardinals fan. But
Boo.
but we've been watching a lot of Dodgers lately. We really like this kid coming up called Gavin Lux. He's a young stud, and I'm collecting a lot of his rookie cards. So hopefully it turns out to be something.
Wait, what's his name again?
Gavin Lux, Lux. He's young.
I'm just Googling him.
Yeah, he came up on the end of season call ups last year. Yeah, he's oh, Mr. Holt says, I'm about to pick up groceries. Look at this. I told you, man of many talents. See that? He even does the shopping.
Awesome.
Yeah, buy extra toilet paper, Mr. Holt. Oh, I got an actual e-learning question here, Stock. Ethan Dixon.
Oh, we can both answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on in. Says, hi, Mr. Sowers. I couldn't turn in the assignment for March 13th from Canvas on March 18th, so I emailed it to you, and I still have an incomplete, so I'm just seeing if you saw it. Yes, Ethan, great question. I plan on doing the stream every day at 10, from 10 to 11 or so. At 11 o'clock.
That's not what.
What's that?
That's not what he asked.
Well, I'm getting to the answer. It's a roundabout answer. I did get your email. I'm planning on doing my grading from 11 to noon and then taking like a lunch break. And then if I have any more grading, I'm going to do it after that. So afternoon today, I'm going to do all the grading that I need to catch up on, plus any stuff that might have been turned in today already. But thank you for asking. Thanks for joining in. That's good hearing from a student. Hope you're doing well. I hope that the computer science assignments are pretty clear to you. It's basically just every day you'll have a log of what you accomplished for that day, and it doesn't have to be like monumental thing. So if you just make a baby step, just document that, turn it in. Yeah, that's all it is. But thank you for that question. Uh, Stock, do you have any like big announcements for e-learning stuff that you want to get out there?
No, and I'll tell you why. Yesterday, I made just an introductory video for e-learning that I posted on my Canvas sites to all of my French classes. And I basically overviewed how at least these 2 weeks were going to go. So I'm good with announcements for right now, I think.
Okay.
I have an idea for something next week that I've got a week to figure it out. So
Right. Yeah.
that's my plan.
It's a little different than being at school for 7 hours and so many minutes, being home.
It is.
And that's one of the things I wanted to mention. I've seen several articles on this where it talks about e-learning, and you have to have a regimented structure. So you need to
Yeah.
have a place that you can do your work that is distraction free, and you need to set up a certain time so that you can go in, know that, hey, in my bedroom without my cell phone from 10 to 11 is my e-learning time, or 10 to 12, or
Mhm.
however long it's going to be. And I know some of you have a lot more lengthy assignments, and that's okay. You just need to regiment yourself a longer amount of time, or allot yourself that time.
Yeah.
So that's really important.
I told my kids
Yeah,
to focus first on your core classes, English, math, history, and science.
absolutely.
Those are the classes that the school is graded on by the state. So put your big effort in there. That's not to say the others aren't important. All of your classes are important. But if you have to, budget your time, English, math, history, science.
Yeah, yeah. The stuff you need to graduate. And that brings up a really good
Exactly.
point. Uh, if you are part of that graduation pathways that Mrs. Myers and I
Mm,
introduced you guys the other day in the classroom, um, just drop me an
right.
email. Stop by the stream. We'll help you with anything you need to. It's just basically like filling out a job application, um, resume, cover letter, that kind of stuff. And Stock and I have done this several times. So if you want to come into stream and ask questions, that's awesome. We could run through it live. But if you want to correspond over Gmail or something like that, that's fine too. I'll answer anything you got.
Mhm.
My email comes straight to my phone, so I'm never unreachable. And
Mine
thank you,
too.
Ethan. Thank you, Ethan, for saying you're enjoying this stream. We're enjoying the stream too. This is really fun.
I looked up Gavin Lux.
Yeah.
I don't like judging people based on how they look, but
Oh, this is
he
perfect.
looks like he
Great
could
start.
he, he looked like he could punch you
Yeah,
if you walk the wrong way.
and that's the thing. He seems like a really nice dude. All the Dodgers behind the scenes stuff that I've seen, he seems like a really
Yeah.
genuinely nice dude. So, yeah, he does have a pretty steely demeanor. But he had like a 340 something batting average in the minor leagues. I don't know if you've seen this Stock. Ethan just said it's nice background noise and video for my e-learning. Hey, good on you, Ethan. Good on you, Ethan, for getting all this stuff done and out of the way.
We aim to please.
It's right. It's too bad it's not like a winter e-learning break where you can go sledding after this or make snow angels. You just have to wear a mask to walk the dog or something. Oh, you'll like this story, Stock. I found an old like gas mask that I had. I don't know why I have it, but I put it on, put my hood up last night, and I sat in the chair. And it was a good 5 minutes before Kelsey noticed that I was fully regaled in a gas mask. It was great.
Did she stop and say, "Did you test positive?"
Exactly. Yeah, we don't want that. Hey, Scotty's in. Madison Pippin. I'm watching this and doing my e-learning. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying you, Scotty. Good hearing from you.
Wow, more background noise for him.
That's right. That's right. We will provide all the background noise we can.
Yep.
Holy mackerel. Oh, and this is for web kids, since Scotty's in here. We're doing the website for Mr. Short's gym. So we're planning on this, and kids had already started building stuff before the world ended.
Yep.
Um, and we're going to still work on that assignment. It's just going to be modified. We're just going to work on design instead of building, unless kids want to take the initiative to build something. But the cool thing, and this is not a paid advertisement or anything, I got to walk through Mr. Short's gym the other day.
Oh, how's that?
Oh my goodness, dude. It is awesome. So from the outside, it looks big, but not huge, right?
Mhm.
You walk
Yeah.
in the front door and it is cavernous. This place is gigantic. So like you walk in, immediately to the left there's going to be like a juice bar and pro shop.
Mhm.
Further to the left is going to be like a room for dance studios and cool stuff like that. Immediately in front of you there's a stairway, and that's where he's going to have his office. So Mr. Short's got an office built in and everything like that, and like a boiler and all that.
Okay.
And then underneath, like showers and bathrooms and all that kind of stuff. Typical gym stuff. And then the right half of the
Yeah.
building is already wired up and everything for a gym, treadmills, all that kind of stuff. It's
Mhm.
phenomenal. It's really, really cool. Pretty excited
Well,
for Mr. Short.
he showed, yeah, he showed me the blueprints, and that was my question. How is all of this going to fit in there?
Right. Yeah, and it is gigantic. So if you get a
Yeah.
chance and you see his truck down there, go ahead and stop and see if I'll give you a tour. He and his business partner, Brandon Ricketts, who we know is
Yeah.
a family, friend, relative, whatever, they were wiring it up, and it looks really, really nice. So pretty excited
Good.
about that.
Good.
Much more excited about
Yeah.
that than McDonald's, but I am going to like the coffee there. What are your thoughts on that, Stock? You were
Well,
a McDonald's guy.
I worked at McDonald's starting the summer between my sophomore and junior years, all the way through. Well, I didn't get a teaching job my first year out of college, so I stayed at McDonald's. And then I got my first teaching job down in Southern Indiana. For me, McDonald's was a good first job. It taught me, not that I was bad in any of these areas, but it just kind of reinforced, yes, this is how you need to live. It taught me things like being on time, um, doing what you're told. If there's a step A, B, and C, you have to go in order A, B, and C. I don't think I could have made a career out of it, but I do think it's a good job for teenagers, especially.
And this might come as a surprise, Stock, but I watch a lot of Food Network. I watch a lot of Bon Appetit
Really?
on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I've heard several people mention that their first job was McDonald's because it
Yeah.
teaches them how to cook. It teaches them how to wash dishes, which is super, super important. So, like, use the hottest
Yes.
water you can stand. You need it sanitized. You need to keep it clean. You need to know a workflow, your mise en place, all that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
don't overlook a job like that as a starting place.
Yeah.
Like, especially in the climate we're in now with the economic slowdown and anything like that, get any job you can. You know,
Any job.
Get your foot in the door.
Job is a job.
Absolutely. Get your foot in the door.
Yeah.
Yep.
My first teaching job was at a school 3 times smaller than Covington.
So Wallace has a
And
school?
it was about that size.
Holy
It
moly.
truly was about that size. Medora, Indiana,
And where's that?
kind of halfway between Seymour and Bedford in southern Indiana.
So that's a drive from here.
And quite a drive, yes. Again, you have to get your foot in the door somewhere. It was a teaching job. I learned, they always say you learn more your first year teaching than you ever do in college. I learned a lot that year. But then Covington called and said, we'll give you $3,000 more. And so I came here and I've been here ever since.
And you said, how fast can I be there? Holy moly. Have you always
It's kind of interesting.
Well, have you always wanted to be a French teacher? This is a question maybe not most of the people in the chat will know.
Okay, the answer to that is no. Originally, and I remember this day, I was in 6th grade and we were learning about adverbs. And I remember thinking that day, this is interesting. I want to be an English teacher. And so that was when I decided I'm going to be an English teacher. So.
Oh, I think he froze. Oh, he's frozen. That is a pretty funny face. All right, let me go to my main screen while I try to get stock back. We'll see if we can get stock back with us here in a sec. Hey, let me switch scenes again. You're back. I'm gonna have to resize your window. There we go.
Okay.
Looks good. You look dapper today.
All right.
Stock.
Well, I just threw on what was clean.
I think we're all to that point.
That's the big thing. I did shave.
Oh my. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Yeah, that's not true.
I'll take your word.
Yeah, well, it was a lie. I did cut down the giant beard on the sides, so I've made it more straight down and long than bushy.
Okay. Okay.
I still look like a homeless
I saw
person.
a picture. Yeah, I saw a picture of one of your classmates on Facebook, and he has like a Bushman beard.
One of my classmates.
Yes.
Who's that?
Someone I never would have thought he would ever have a beard, but he does. Dustin Paddock.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. It's a pretty impressive beard.
I mean, it goes halfway down his chest, I think.
Hey, if you can do it, do it. That's the best advice I can give anyone. If you can grow an epic beard, grow an epic beard. Oh my goodness!
I grew one last year, 2 years ago.
My headphones.
Okay, well, I just had the scruffy beard, kind of stubble. I think I was telling a story about how I became a French teacher, or why I became a French teacher.
You were on adverbs
in
6th grade.
Okay, adverbs in 6th grade. I loved them, and I said I want to be an English teacher. So that was my thought all throughout junior high. Once I got to high school, I wanted to take German, but our German teacher also taught English, and he was a very difficult English teacher. I never had him, my brother did. Imagine having a teacher like this. Any mistake is an automatic F.
Oh my.
And then you have to fix it in order to get your grade raised. So my brother, who's not a language person, and that's okay. Some people are language, some people are math. That's not saying one is better than the other. Some people are wired for language, some people are wired for math. I happen to be the language person. My brother happens to be the math person. So he struggled in that class. I never had him. So several of my friends were taking French, and they convinced me, oh, French, we'll be in there together, it'll be fun. And I thought, okay, I'll take a year, maybe 2 of French, and then try something else. But once I got in there, something clicked and it just made sense to me. And I can't explain it, but I'm sure we've all had that moment. Hopefully, we've all found something in life where this just makes sense to me. And I realized if this is what I have a natural talent for, this is probably what I should do with my life. And so I became a French teacher.
That's awesome. So here's my
Yeah.
question. How big was your high school?
Okay. Twice as big as Covington.
And
We had 600
one
students.
teacher that was an English and a German teacher?
Yes.
How does that work?
Well, he taught part English, part German.
So
And then we had, let's see, we had Snotty, Zika, Hardebeck, Langevin, Carey, Zeiss, and that guy. I forget his name. We had 7 English teachers.
that guy.
Yeah.
7
So we had
English
7
teachers?
English. Yep.
Oh my goodness. So did he teach German like 1 hour a day or a couple hours a day?
No, I think he had 3 levels of German, and then, so that would be 3 classes, and then he taught 3 classes of English.
Oh my. So split
Yeah.
down the middle. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you enjoy something like that?
Well, that was my first job in Southern Indiana. I had 1 freshman English, 2 junior English. That was all the junior English. And then I had French 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, how did
And it's
that
hard.
compare? Yeah, how did that compare to your current situation?
A lot of juggling.
Yeah, I would imagine.
And there's a difference between teaching a foreign language and teaching your maternal language, because foreign language, you're starting from scratch. Your native language, once you get to your junior year, there are some things that you just should know. In your freshman year, there are things that you just should know. And so you can approach teaching English with certain assumptions that you can't as you teach a foreign language.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you talked about that moment you
Yeah.
just know, where it's something
Yeah.
you're drawn to, or something you just really enjoy. And that's how I started
Yeah.
at Covington High School. I was subbing out of college, and Mr. Boo and Mr. Welchins called me into the office and asked if I would want a semi-permanent position in special needs. So I worked in the special needs department for, oh my gosh, Doc, how long was that? Like 10, 12 years?
A long time.
It was a long time, which is,
And we're working at Overpass.
yeah, I was working at Overpass. I was working 70, 80 hours a week. And this is a big point that I don't think a lot of people realize about the special needs department at Covington. The burnout rate for a special needs teacher is crazy fast. It's like a social behaviorist for the FBI. Like, you see so much and you deal with so much that the burnout rate's just super high. So people end up retiring quick or changing jobs. Like 5 years, 3 to 5 years, I think, is the burnout rate.
Right.
Trish has been there. She was hired the same year I was. So she's been there
Really?
a very long time. Yeah, she was hired before I was, because I was brought in late in the fall. She was hired for that school year. And she's been here and just doing an awesome job, just killing it every day. And then my brother,
She does an excellent.
who was the dean of students now in middle school, Ryan, he worked in there for several years and worked past the burnout rate as well. And I know there's a lot of stuff that weighs on your mind and a lot of stuff to think about when you work in that department. But I just want to put it out there how great of a special needs department we have.
We do.
Yeah.
It's very, very good.
Yeah, they just do a great job. And Can't give them enough shout outs for that. But enough
Yeah.
of that. I was offered a job when Mr. Cunningham went to Fountain Central and started working in the high school. I've been here ever since. Was 6 or 7
Yep.
years or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, you've always had an interest in electronics and stuff like that. When did that start?
I always like taking stuff apart and putting it back together, and that's kind of what I do every day now. Building a website is like playing with Legos. I mean, you can pull
Yeah.
certain parts apart, put them in a different place, build something up by yourself with your own hands. Radio TV is a lot like that, to where you're building a product. And I just like helping people. You know, this sounds cliche, and it sounds like the beauty queen answer. Shout out to Audrey, who won her Teen Miss.
But you'll have to
But
put
it
your
does.
crown on.
It does. And you remember, actually, I was a DJ for a very long time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for all the dances, prom.
yeah, and I actually only did that because all my friends were getting married, and I wanted to give them a free resource for their weddings. So a free DJ. So that's how I got started into that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it kind of just fell into this life. So it's been fun so far.
Now, it's interesting that you equate building a website with like building with Legos. Right at the beginning of spring break, I used that app builder website to make an app for my first year kids. They haven't seen it yet. It'll be coming out next week.
Oh, so spoiler alert.
But
I wish I had an overlay for the stream. Spoiler alert. I haven't played on this app though. So I got the beta version.
Wait, are we okay?
Right.
Well, something I found with it, I had to put audio in with a button click, and to do that, it takes you to a page where you have individual blocks where you just pull the blocks over and stick them together. Yep. It's exactly like Legos.
Absolutely. And actually,
yeah,
even something like building a computer, like with your hands, actually getting the components, put it together. A lot of YouTubers now call it adult Legos, because that's what it is. Everything snaps into a certain place, and you kind of can only put certain connectors in certain ways. So I was really into that when I was growing up, and I've just kind of enjoyed the tech side of things because of that. I like building stuff. I like working with wood as well. So I've got a little shop in the garage.
What's been the most recent thing you made?
Most recent thing I made that I'm proud of, or just most recent thing I've made?
You decide.
Let's see. Most recent thing that I'm super proud of, I made a bed, which is like a giant castle bed. Not for me, but for Nora, and we're pretty proud of how that turned out. Also,
good.
And the kids haven't seen this shit. For Radio TV, I made 2 vinyl banners. So I made one for us to hang outside of our classroom to let people know when we're recording. And I made one for ball games. So I straight up ripped off Greg Green at KISS 103.1. And our banner's not as big, but it looks a lot better. So I'm pretty excited to show the kids that. And actually, maybe tomorrow's stream, I'll break those out and show them.
Yeah.
But we're
at one
proud of that.
Good. At one of the first foreign language conferences I ever went to, I heard somebody say they were talking about something they do in class and handing out, reference papers and everything. And she said, if you see anything you like, just take it. Educational theft is okay, so take it.
Oh, that's perfect. Educational
so
theft.
It's educational theft.
I love it. That is fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah. But we're pretty proud of the product we have for Radio TV. and we want to get that out to as many people as possible. So that's the
Mhm.
channel we're streaming on right now, CHS 247.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the kids have really been enjoying this.
yeah, it's been pretty cool. It's a really cool
Hmm.
experience. We were hoping to realign teams after spring break, but that might be on hold for a minute. So we'll just have to see what that looks like when we get closer to the time.
Yeah.
And a lot of my classes, and this is something you might be able to help with, Stock. A lot of my classes are
Okay.
project-based learning. So a lot of my
Okay.
finals are dual or triple part, to where they have a multiple choice section, a vocabulary section, and then a hands-on working section.
All right.
So expectation-wise, where do you think that should be? Where do you think I should fall with the project side of it? Because let me give you a little background.
Okay.
For web design, we build websites, and you can know all the terminology, all the vocab in the world, but it doesn't matter if you can't build a website. So,
Right.
what do you think?
Here's something crazy idea. You could set up your final as though it were maybe a technology fair, and then each kid would have to create like a little pamphlet that would explain exactly what the website is, exactly what it does, and how it could help the user's daily life, help the user's business.
Okay.
And that, yeah, that sort of communication aspect could include the vocabulary and other things like that.
That's a great idea. I like that.
Are you just saying that?
No, I don't have a piece of paper to write it down on, so you're gonna have to repeat it. Or I'll just go back
Was
to the
this
stream and
recorded? You
listen.
could just,
Yeah, I'll just go back to the stream.
yeah, what's the time code?
Yeah, exactly. We've been live for 1 hour and 11 minutes.
Wow.
Right. We got a couple viewers in the chat. I'm going to throw one more invitation out there. If you have questions, if you want to drop anything in chat, do so. We've heard from Ethan and Pip, Scotty, as I call her, already today. So if you want to drop something in chat, even just to say hi, do so. And then a couple minutes, we'll end the stream. I plan on doing this tomorrow at 10. I don't know if Stock's going to be able to join us. As always, you're always welcome, Stock. So we'll talk about this later.
Okay.
But
Well, I was just getting out of the shower. So
yeah, I
yeah,
texted
this whole
Stock a little
e-learning
earlier.
is messing up my schedule.
Right? And that's part of the thing about being regimented. I have no idea what day it was Saturday. No idea. Thankfully, Pokemon Go is keeping me on schedule with events.
Awesome.
So, exactly. That's the only way I know where I am, when I am, what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is what it is, and we got to deal with it while
It
we got to
is.
deal with it.
Take it one day at a time.
That's right. And it's honestly, it's always better to be safe than put people unnecessarily at risk. So.
Yep.
And I'm one of those high risk people now, so that's fun.
Hey, you are.
Yeah.
I think I am too because I have asthma.
Oh yeah, probably. Does that mean we get to go shop the store early?
Can we?
I know Casey's is open early. I don't know if it's just for elderly or people at risk as well.
I thought Casey's was 24 hours.
No, they are not 24 hours right now.
Okay.
And a lot of stores are shortening their hours. I even think that
Yeah.
the oh shoot, I'm getting a call from kidney care. I'll answer that off stream. Uh,
Okay.
pardon. But yeah, I know Sam's Club has shopping hours before everything else, before they actually open
Yeah.
for older people, people at risk. So if you need to grab anything,
In France, okay, in France, they're having special hours for nurses and medical professionals.
oh, that's a great idea too.
Yeah.
You can kind of get people to where they need to be when they need to be there.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, I really like this software, but I keep getting alerts on drop frames and stuff like that. So hopefully
Yeah.
kids are able to see this and get something out of it, even if we're dropping frames.
Plus, it's day one.
It is day one. I'll reset the router tonight, see if that helps. I don't know if you can hear it, Stock. Are you watching the stream?
I'm watching you on YouTube,
okay,
but I have it muted. Let me.
Well, I've got a background song, and you can watch this later. I found a royalty-free. It's called French Jazzy Song, and it's playing in the
cool.
background. Yeah. It's a nice little elevator music song.
That's all the French are good for, elevator music.
Elevator music and baguettes.
Oui, oui.
That's right. I can't have baguettes anymore.
And well, you can, just not the whole thing.
Well, then what's the point?
True. Too true.
Oh, goodness. Well, I don't see any further comments in chat, Stock.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to say au revoir for today.
Au revoir. À la prochaine. Until the next.
Okay. Anything you want to add before we sign off?
Everyone should keep checking their email. Mr. Smith, your teachers, they might send out important information, so keep checking your email.
Absolutely. Check your email. Make sure you're doing your e-learning attendance. Even if you're not doing the assignments, make sure you're doing the attendance so we can get you in and get our state money. Right? Isn't that what this is about?
Yep. Attendance is all about money.
Yeah. So be there, be present. That's the majority of life, kids. Be there and be present.
Yep.
All right. Well, I will talk to you off stream, Stock. I'll text you here in a second.
Okay.
I'm gonna close the stream out.
Okay.
And we'll get back with you one of these days.
Okay. We'll see you later.
All right. Thanks.
Bye, everyone.
Right. That was Stock. Thanks for joining us, Stock. Real quick, this is going to be my main screen most of the time. This is, if I don't have a guest, this is what you're going to be able to see. Down here at the bottom, that way, there's a scrolling bar that's going to have all of your assignments for me every day. So they're separated with a straight up and down line. It'll say the date, and it'll tell you the class, and then what the assignment is for that class for the day. So example, scrolling across the screen right now is radio TV. You have a discussion board. The topic is sell yourself. So originally we had planned to redraw groups. That doesn't look like it's going to be a possibility right now. So we're still going to do the assignment. Sell yourself. What qualities do you bring to the table that you think would be beneficial for a group? Web, blog entry, badge check. As we aren't able to get all of the resources we may need, like Expression Web 4, stuff like that, it's going to be important that we stay in Codecademy. So it's going to be 5 every week. That's what you're going to be doing. And blog check. PIP, blog check. We've got a test in personal finance tomorrow. So today is the Chapter 7 review. make sure you get that done, get that turned in, be ready for the test tomorrow. In computer science, we are working through 331. That's that individual project. I think I got most people's backlogs and user stories. That's what Ethan was talking about earlier in the stream. I did get his. It's just not put in yet, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I'll be back live again tomorrow at 10. Hopefully we're a little more stable on the stream. But until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye.